With the recent 4.5 livestream, we got a lot of exciting news about characters, skins, and content coming to Global Arknights. But for one thing that I was really excited to talk about and really wanted to talk about today was actually the 6-star selector that will be coming to the store. If you were not aware, basically about every 6 months or so, a 6-star selector becomes available for us in the shop. This comes with a lot of units. Here is actually the list of operators. Honestly, it is insane how much bigger this thing just keeps on getting. Last time I think we had it up to Reed Alter, so now we have the likes of Lynn, Cubai and Enos added. We just keep adding more and more units. The next 6-star selector might have Jessica Alter, Typhon, Horderer. That's just a guess, but I think it will do, which is crazy. But today we're going to go over what you should probably pick in terms of efficient picks. We'll also talk about who I'm going to go for at the end of the video. I would also love to know if you are going to buy this ticket, who are you going to pick? Let me know down below, I'd love to know. Now before we really get into the reasons why you might not want to pick certain units, let's actually go over some very quick questions and some quick points about the 6-star selector. So, first of all, can you actually get this in game for free? Unfortunately, you have to buy this. You will have to spend $29.99 for this item. I know that is obviously quite a bit of money for a lot of people, but I want to say this is the best value pack in the game without a doubt. If you're thinking about spending money for the first time in the game or for the last time in the game, I would say this is worth buying without a doubt. You get a guaranteed character. In most cases, to get a guaranteed character, you have to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars just to get a certain character. So this is very good value. You also do get a temple with this, so it does kind of make the deal a little bit sweeter as well. I would personally recommend this, but at the end of the day, it is your money, so it's really up to you. So now onto the main questions people ask is, for example, can you get limited characters on this? Unfortunately, you can only get standard banner characters on this. Are newly released characters like the likes of Jessica Alter, Suave Elegant Wit or Typhon available on this, or will they be available? Unfortunately on this ticket they are not available. Can I buy more than one ticket? Unfortunately you can only buy one of these, you cannot buy two, you cannot buy three, you can only buy one. And when will this expire? If I remember correctly, this is about 2 months from buying it, so once you purchase it you have about 2 months. Regardless, you do have a bit of time to wait, but you don't have infinite time to try and maybe wait for a certain character. You will have to use this eventually. Alright, now moving on to the reason why you might not want to pick a 6-star from your 6-star selector is the actual banners that will be coming. Now, I've made a video talk about the banners. There is a lot of banners coming, but these are the banners that have the actual units from the 6-star selector on them. This might dictate if you want to maybe pull for them instead of actually picking them, or maybe just help you know what characters will actually be coming that are part of the selector. So, first of all, we have the Joint Operation banner here. As you can see, we have 4 units which are on the selector. It is really up to you if you want to pull on this. With Joint Operation banners, if you're going for only one unit, just remember, the chance of you getting them is basically a 25% chance. So even though that seems not too bad, it is actually quite difficult to get them. Sometimes you can get lucky, sometimes you can get very unlucky, so do take that into account. The next banner we have though is the Reed Alter rerun, and this is a bit better. With only one character on this banner, if you are planning to go ahead and pick it from your 6-star ticket, maybe you want to pull on this, because with only one character, apart from off-banner characters, you do have a much better chance of getting her compared to the Joint Operation banners. Next up, we also have a New Year Celebration Colonel banner. Basically, the first 6-star you get will be a guaranteed new character from this list of operators. There are some great units on this, like Fiala, Bagpipe, and a handful of other units, but I personally wouldn't recommend pulling on this. I feel like there's just so many banners coming that I wouldn't recommend it, but if you are only looking for one of the characters, and maybe you want to pick them on the selector, that is always something to take into account. Now, next up we have this red banner. This one is literally the same as the previous banner. Your first 6-star will be a guaranteed new character, and after that, every other 6-star you get will just be a random character from this list. This is a pretty good banner overall. I would actually recommend pulling on it, that's just my opinion. There are a lot of banners coming that make it a little bit more difficult, but I would say this is pretty worth pulling on, in my opinion. But of course, this might dictate your 6-star selector, because you might want to go ahead and maybe try and pull on this first before you pick one of the characters. We see the likes of Serta, Thorns, Mountain. There's a lot of really good characters on this that does make this banner kind of more tempting for a lot of players, especially if you're missing maybe some of the units that you really want. Now, next up we also have the Joint Operation 13 banner and Joint Operation 14 banner. The Joint Operation 13 banner comes with 3 units which are on the selector and also Swire Alter. If you maybe want to try and get one of these characters, like I mentioned before, it's a 25% chance. I would say that some of these Joint Operation banners are good, but I would say it really depends on you, who you actually want. Do you want to try and maybe get also additional units on this banner? it is up to you at the end of the day. And we also have this Joint Operation 14 banner, which comes with Posey, Mudrock, Jessica Alter, and Passenger. Jessica Alter is not actually part of the 6-star selector. I believe she might be part of the next one, so do take that into account, but that is like 6 months away or something like that, so definitely not something we're going to talk about today, but if you want one of these characters, maybe you want to put on a banner. I think by this point you probably get the gist. And for the final banner, we have the Front That Was 4 banner. This comes with Horderer, Enos, and Stainless. Obviously, Enos and Stainless are characters which are on the ticket. Maybe you want to pull on this. Now, to give you another reason why you might not want to pick another 6-star from the 6-star selector, we have Recruitment. Now, listen, I've got to be honest, I don't think Recruitment is a great reason for you to skip a character on the selector, mainly because we know how RNG this thing is. Basically, to any new players who have no idea what this is, basically you pick tags and you get a random unit. With the tags, sometimes you can be guaranteed to get 6-star characters. With that, it does give you a chance to get one of these characters. Personally, like I mentioned, I'm not a fan of this at all. I don't think this is a good reason to skip a character on the selector, but it is up to you. I do also want to very quickly note that Selector is actually not available at the moment in recruitment, but she will be available in the coming future. Right, so the next thing I want to talk about is actually something that I think goes a little bit under the radar for a lot of people. Is actually the banner predictions that will be coming along. So there are basically standard banners in the game. Most of us have seen them. They're banners that I personally don't recommend pulling on, but there are actually predictions out there like this spreadsheet, which I will leave in the link in the description. The great thing about this is we can actually see what should be coming up next in terms of standard banners. If you do want to pull on a standard banner, you can theoretically get the character you might want on this. Here is actually the next 6 characters that are predicted to come. Most notably, we have like a Gnosis, Golden Glow, Horn, Irene. If any of those characters are available, to be honest, they might make me rethink my 6-star selector. However, like I did say, I won't recommend pulling on this, mainly because you do have a 50% chance to actually get the character. And that ignores the fact you can have 2 characters on this banner, so the chance of getting them is much lower. I can't say that, oh, you should spend all your pulls just trying to get one character on the standard banner. With so many banners coming, just like many of the other banners in the game, I would recommend skipping them, but that is my opinion. Here is the option anyway. Predictions are a great way to kind of keep track of at least what should be coming in the future. Oh yeah, and one more thing about predictions, we do also have the Colonel banner predictions. These are basically the blue banners you see. These are basically like standard banners. I didn't want to mention this because specifically, we don't know what's coming. We haven't had enough of these banners to really be able to narrow down who's coming next, but with this, you can take this into account. Like I said, I'm going to leave a link to this in the description, so do be wary of that if you do really want to be as efficient as possible. So now onto the best picks for this. I'm going to be honest, there is no defined perfect operator for you to go for. I know that there's a lot of different opinions out there, but to be honest, every account is at a different stage. You could be a beginner player, you could be a late game player, you could be someone who has all the operators in the game almost, and someone who has none of the operators in the game. Really, it goes off your own opinion at the end of the day. So I want to say, if you do have any recommendations, please leave them in the comments down below. Honestly, it can help new players so much, and also, if anyone's undecided, please do leave them down below because it can help just those extra thoughts from other people. You can make some great points that someone might just be thinking about now, and then you might define who they actually pick and they might end up being more happy. So leave some comments down below. Also, I have a Discord down below, so if you want to know who specifically to go for, we have some really great players in Arknights in my Discord, so be free to ask there as well. But let's also go over what I'm probably going to go for and what are automatically pretty good picks. So the 2 automatically really good picks that I know that people will always say are good regardless is of course Selector and Mlynar. Selector is obviously a character that's been a top pick for a very, very long time now. A lot of people always used to say just go Selector if you don't know what to do. I mean, just Selector it. It's just that simple. I think she is a great unit, and of course, over time we've got more characters in the game which have become better and better, but Selector is still a very, very good unit, and definitely a unit you can't go wrong with picking. Mlynar is of course also an amazing choice, and probably someone I'm actually going to go ahead and pick myself. His skill literally just annihilates everyone in existence, and honestly, just a very, very good unit that you cannot go wrong with picking either. There are also other fantastic units like the likes of Gnosis, Thorns, Mountain, Golden Glow, Posey, and funnily enough, my first picks on the ticket were actually Suzerain and Calcite, which are of course very nice units to have as well. There are of course units that benefit better on accounts that have actually been around for a while. For example, Fawns is a character that you ideally want at Elite 2. If you don't have him at Elite 2, his third skill won't be available to you, so you won't really get as much benefit out of him. Like I usually say though, you can pretty much clear the game with just 3 stars and 4 stars. I don't recommend building 6 stars at the beginning too heavily regardless, so you will still get a benefit in the long run, getting a character like Fawns or anyone that has maybe skills that unlocked at a later time. But regardless, go ahead and pick whoever you want. I want to say very quickly that from my past experience, after picking 3 different units on this ticket, I've honestly found it to be a lot better to go for units I want rather than just meta. Don't get me wrong, meta characters obviously made the game more enjoyable in a sense, but for most players I don't recommend it. I just recommend try and have fun. Fun is the main thing at the end of the day, and if people disagree with that, then that is completely up to them. But yeah, that pretty much covers everything I want to talk about today. If you did find this helpful, please drop a like down below. Dropping a like or a comment honestly means the world to me. It helps out my channel quite a lot, and it does actually get the video out to more people, which I always do appreciate. If you did find this helpful or have any comments down below to mention, be free to comment down below. Go ahead and join my Discord. Anyway, that's pretty much all my promotion out the way. Thank you for watching. I will see you next one, and most importantly, have a wonderful day, and adios.